There you go. A little bit of Irish jigs for you to get us started off tonight. All right, so that is where we're going. Now, hey, that's quick. That is very quick. But let's just kind of dive into this. Let's dive into this a little bit. So we're going to get started. Make sure you have the music out in front of you there. It's going to be kind of a playing lesson here. So it's not going to sound so, not going to be good unless you have your instrument in your hands. Now, take a look at the music. This is Irish music. This is jigs. So you're going to be in 6/8 time. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1. That kind of a quick 6 tempo. Now, very common in Irish and Celtic music is that use of the triplet, which is 6/8. That's 2 triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They also have things in 12/8 and in 9/8, which would be 3 triplets and 4 triplets. So that's how this grouping sounds. Now, we're in the key of G, a very guitar-friendly key. You've got F sharps though, so make sure you've got some. You keep track of those F sharps in it. Now, the melody goes a lot scale-wise. It also does a lot with arpeggios. So let's just get into it. Now I'm playing on my Gibson J45 with very old strings. I need to change my strings tonight or tomorrow. And then I'm using a smaller Jim Dunlop pick. It is a very kind of a small teardrop, and it's got a good point on it. I like it. It's heavy, so it's not flopping around a lot. If you're using a thin sort of a pick, this isn't the song for you. You just can't get going fast enough with that. But a little pick like this, which is very thick, really gets the job done on this. All right, so take a look at this first of the 3 songs that are involved. So the first song, starting there at the top, is called Boys of Bock Hills. Now, this is not, I'm sorry, I don't have the tab for you, so you're going to be reading music here a little bit like real musicians do. Let me make a little plug for that. Hey, I've been a professional musician for way too many decades, and I have never been in a professional music situation where they have handed me tab to play. So I know all of my tab. Tab is a great tool. I use it all the time. It's a great tool to teach with, stuff like that. Just realize in the real world, you will never see it. Never see it. So don't get too locked into it. If it's not in tab, I don't know how to do it. Hey, you got to learn how to read music. Real musicians know how to read music. Real writers know how to write. It's just the tools of the trade. So that's what we're doing here. If I get some time, maybe I'll try and write it out and tab it out. It's basically all in the open position. As much as possible, it's in the open position. It's really similar, actually, to bluegrass. Although bluegrass has a tendency to do these open position stuff, but in 16th notes, you know. That sort of a thing. Now we're in triplets, so we're still doing quick. We're still in the open position, but we're doing a triplet-based thing. So the first little melody that you come across is this one. There you go. That melody there, it's 8 bars long there. It's mainly going right either arpeggios or in the scale. So let's take a look at that. And then the second beat, you have this little hammer on from the E, F sharp, and G. I just do that open, F sharp, to G, open, second, third. Here's right down the arpeggio, G or D, G arpeggio, D, B, G. Nothing complicated on the fingerings. I'm doing regular standard open position fingerings. Open D, open G, second finger A. Next line, measure 5. Then it just does it again. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Steve, that's way too complicated. How am I supposed to keep up with that? If you get the first 4 bars, you've got it. Because the second 4 bars are basically a repeat of the top 3. The only thing is it just switches out the last little couple of notes. So once you've got the first 4 measures, you've got it, okay? So realize with a lot of this stuff, it's repetitive. So it just does it a bunch of times. So if you just kind of wrestle with that first little part of it, that's going to be enough to get you through it. So, all right, so that's the first one. So we're going to turn on the slow track here just for a second, and we're going to try and play that slow track over those first 8 bars. So we'll just go just a few bars into it, and then we'll stop. So you see if you can play it. Now, the track's going to sound a little funny because we just took the fast track and slowed it down 50%, so it's going to sound a little warbly through there, but it's enough to get you through. So if you can, play through it with us. Here we go. Let's try the slow track. Then it does it again. Very good. Okay, so that's the first part of the first song. Now, these songs usually come in 2 parts each to a jig, okay? So that was the first part of this first song, and then we're going to do the second part now. So the second part, we're in the key of G major, but it goes to its relative minor, very common. Okay, so look in the 3rd line, measure 9. Now we're not in G major anymore, we're in E minor. So take a look at this. Now we're kind of doing open E, 3rd finger D, and then I might play maybe my pinky on that higher G just to keep my other finger free to do that D again. This is measure 9. Then it does it again. Remember how I said things repeat? Okay, now in measure, what is that, 11? Uh-oh, what do we have there? We have a triplet 16th. Now, that's how I would play that is I'd play the open E, then I have to shift up to the 2nd position here for a second. Okay, so I have a 2nd finger on the G, 1st finger on the F sharp because I've got to reach that high A. That's the one trick on that, so I've got to hit that high A. So I would shift up to the 2nd position right there, play that G with my 2nd finger, F sharp with my 1st, pinky on that high A, and then I can go back into my normal position. Look at that, the last measure of that line, it's a G triad and a D triad. Very triad based. Okay, look at the 4th line. This is measure 13. Hey, look at that. That sounds familiar. That's just like the 2nd line. And then it adds a little flourish here, which I would play with my 1st finger on this A and do it that way. Now you could go, but you don't get the hammer on right. So, and he's wanting a little hammer on there, so I have to play that with my 1st finger, slip up to the 2nd position again. Okay, so that's the 1st ending. Then it would go back and play that line, the 3rd line, that measure 9 part again. So here we go. Let's play this real slowly, starting at measure 9, E, D, D, G, D, D, E, D, D. And then some really fast picking here. 1, 2, 2nd position, G triad, D triad. Now this 4th line is just like the 2nd. There you go. All right, you ready? We're going to try that whole first part of that song, starting on the slow track, starting from the beginning again. See if you can get both parts of that. I know you're just learning. I know you're going to make a ton of mistakes. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Take it. You've got it. You work on it the next week along. Hey, if you think this stuff sounds fun, it is fun. Okay? So just work on it a couple of days. Don't get frustrated because you can't get it the first time. There's going to be tons of things in life you don't get the first time. But if you work at it a little bit, You'll get it. Okay, so let's see if we can try that. Just keep up with it as best as you can. Okay, here we're going to do the slow track. Second line. Then it does it again. Next part, E minor. Triplets, triads, third line again. That's the first one. That's the first song that we're going to do, is that Boys of Bock Hills. All right, so let's take a quickly, we'll just kind of look at the next one or two, and then I want to get to the Irish Washerwoman. So look at measure 18, this one. Now, the reason it says 1/8 right there is that's just a pickup note. That's just a pickup note, so don't worry too much about that. It's just picking up into that. Hey, what is that? G triad up, D7 triad down. Gotta remember these F sharps. Then it does it again. Spins out a little bit differently here, so you gotta switch up to this, the 5th fret here. Okay, so while it sounds really complicated and long, it's once you get about 4 measures of it, it just starts repeating. So that's the come to the raffle part of it. Look down at measure 28. Now, like I said, I'm just going to touch on it a little bit here. We're actually going to work this out in the workout tomorrow. So we'll have a little bit more practice with that, so don't feel bad. I'm just kind of introducing it now. Measure 28, those are G triads. For me, the easiest way to do that was just to come up to the 3rd position and just play the bottom half of a G chord. So you're just going. You just have to every now and then switch up to the 2nd position to catch that A. Ooh, measure 32. There's no way to do this other than skipping up to the 7th position, and I'm going to do little thirds. 5th position. 3rd position, then I'm back in home base. Okay, so the trickiest part is probably measure 32. You got to jump out of the open position, come up here to the 7th position, do the little G, B, G, 5th position, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger. Then we just slide that position right down to the 3rd position, still 1st and 3rd. Take a look at the next page, Irish Washerwoman. This is what I wanted to get to. Okay, Irish Washerwoman, such a common melody. I can play the first 3 beats of that with not even fretting anything. Just purely in the 1st position. Repeats. Do you see how they all kind of end the same way? It's just a common way to end it. So while it may sound intimidating, I just want to give you hope. Wrestle with this for a few days and you'll be able to play it. So much of it is just repetitive. Once you get the hard part for about 8 bars, you've got most of the song. Then it just repeats that in measure 47. I've got to go up to the 7th position again, and I'm going to do kind of a D shape. you know, just like a D shape. I'm going to do it up here at the 7th position. This is measure 47. And that's going to cover that first bar of 47, that little D shape there. Now here, this is the quandary I had. What to do here? To stay in the 7th position? But then I end up with this sort of a thing. And then now's the problem, because I've got to go low. So I definitely want to be down low for measure 51. So the problem I was having is I'm up here at the 7th position in measure 47. And then I really just kind of want to maybe come back to the 2nd position. That way I'm already in position. Okay, now I could go ahead and take you note by note through it, but that's what we're going to do for tomorrow. So I just wanted to introduce it to you now. Now that's the melody. Now let's take a look at the chords. Okay, so here's the welcome to Irish Celtic jig accompany playing. Okay, the chords are quick, they're simple, but they're quick. So look what happens here. I'm going, starting at the beginning. So you're almost kind of doing a zhunga, 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 sort of a feel as you're strumming. Let's take a break for a second. You know, I back in college, I played a few gigs with this one guy. I don't even remember. This is back in Texas. And he called me one night. It was a last-minute thing. Hey, can you play this it's Irish pub night or something. Can you come play? And sure. I didn't know any Irish music. He said, just bring your acoustic. I'll bring your acoustic. He was a drummer, okay? So, and he sang. So it was me and the drummer who sang. Now, he barely had any music. And so I was hanging on for dear life all night long. And the only thing as a drummer he had to do was go shaka-ta, 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 shaka. And so it was all me going. And I didn't know any of these tunes at all, and I'm trying to read him from the chicken scratch that he's doing. And it's Irish night, but everybody had their beers, and nobody cared. I was hanging on for dear life. That was one of the scarier gigs I've ever played. Fun, but scary, because I was just doing fast chords like that all night, in way over my head, doing that sort of stuff. But let me give you the beginner's version of accompanying with this. So let's slow it way down. I'm going to grab a little bit larger pick, not my small little teardrop. I'm going to grab more of a nylon, my usual Jim Dunlop nylon, so I get a little bit more. Now, I was hoping I had a 73. This is actually an 88, so it's a little bit thicker than I would prefer, but we'll do the best we can. Now, you're going to do kind of a... down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So that's sort of a feel. You're just going down, up, down, up, down. But they repeat to each other. But you're changing chords every beat, so it's a little tricky. So if we did that slow, starting at the first measure, it would be G, C, G, A minor, G minor, A minor, G, D. So you see, it's not hard chords. They just come fast. So that's part of it. So if we put on maybe the slow track, and if I played along with that, it would sound like this. Measure 5. Okay, so there you go. Now, if you want to go to the next level with it, just hit the bass note. Bass note. hit the bass note and then give it a little shunkum, and that is another way to do the 3-note pattern, a little bit trickier. But when you get this going fast enough, like let's do the performance track in the fast tempo, that sounds a little bit more like this. Fast. It is fast. So that's the idea with that. Woo! Tricky, but you guys can do it. I have faith in you. You can do it. Okay? Don't let this intimidate you. This is fun. This is good, fun Irish stuff. Now, I'll try and put my little tracks on the file tonight so that you have my slow and my medium and my fast tempo track with it. Okay? Now, remember, there's lots of programs that you can use to slow things down. You know, there's the amazing slow downer. You can put it on YouTube and then slow it down there. You can play along with me in YouTube, just get the gear and then slow the speed down. There's lots of ways to slow it down. Don't let the speed stop you from learning the song. You can learn it and just play it a little bit slower if the speed is a deal for you. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna let you. We're gonna really work this out tomorrow at the Wednesday workout. So if you like this, and it's a lot of fun, I love it. If you like this, then check out the Wednesday workout that we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to really tell you through that. So hey, might as well learn. While I've got you stopped, let me give you a couple of announcements. Hey, we've got just a couple of our Travis picking bundles left. We just finished up our Travis picking boot camp. We didn't cover everything. We just got you started in Travis picking, but we did 2 versions of Freight Train, and we put those. I actually have them now up on the things, the corrected versions of that, and I've got the files in there as well. So there you go. If you're interested in picking up those Travis picking resources, we have just a couple of them left. Check the link in the YouTube description down below. If you're interested in learning about Travis picking, check out the Travis picking boot camp that we did. And those resources, that's all free. Just kind of go through. All it is, you have to just put in the work to do it. So, and you can do it. You can do it. That's the Travis picking stuff. Let me also mention, we are starting this week. So you can still get in, but this is the last, we're in the home stretch here of our next Guitar Standards Academy, which this one, since it's coming up on Easter, I thought we would do hymns. So we are going to learn 4 different hymns. Amazing Grace, 'Tis So Sweet, How Great Thou Art, and It Is Well With My Soul, I think. We're going to learn those 4 hymns. I'm going to show you how to play them, the melody, how to play the chords with them, and accompany, like if you're going to accompany out of a hymn book. And then plus I'm going to give you a couple of solo guitar arrangements. A lot of times I'll do, solo guitar arrangements of some hymns, and so I'm going to write these things out and give them to you. Each week you receive a lesson with me teaching the information, as well as a 10, 15-page PDF, everything written out, music, tab, chords, whole bit, accompaniment ideas and how you would accompany in a more traditional setting and a more contemporary setting, 2 different ways of accompanying. If you're interested, and then we have Zoom classes that are with it too. So it is for a fraction of what you would pay for a couple of lessons down at the local music store. You're going to get 4 different songs, multiple arrangements of each one, and all of these resources. Plus, we get together and we have Zoom times where y'all can ask me questions, and we can interact, and you can answer any questions you may have. If you're interested, we only have a couple of days left before it starts. We're going to try and start that on Thursday. So if you're interested, there's still time. They're putting up the links for that if you want to do that. There you go. So that's a great resource for you for learning these songs. Let's see. We've got a couple of questions that have come in. One of them is, Randy is saying, well, let me get to Wes first. Wes is saying, does all of your material require note reading? No. Most of it is written in tab. I have the music notation, and I have the tab there as well. This one I just pulled off another resource, and he just didn't happen to have the tab there. So the most of the stuff that I give out, I try and give out in as much information as I can give you. The chords, I give you where to put your fingers, how to finger these different resources or chords and melodies. I give you the music notation, I give you the tab. The chord blocks too. I give you everything I think of to give you. Now, we had another question that came in from Randy120 was asking in the song here. I'm not sure. He's saying in measure 20, in line 28, maybe line. In the seventh line down, starting with measure 28. What that is, when you see a chord and then a slash, what's underneath the slash is the bass note. It's not two different chords telling you it's a bass note. So what they're telling you there, Randy, is at the end of that line, measure 28, G, E minor, A minor, C, D, and then an F sharp in the bass. So if you can catch a D with an F sharp in the bass, a little bit different inversion voicing for you, and that helps lead, that F sharp helps lead into the G that's coming. Okay, so there you go. That's what that is. Another question, Wes said, in the speed and agility workouts, do they have tabs? I believe all that the speed and agility workouts have is tabs, because it's not meant to be musical, it's meant to be technical. And so I believe all I have in those is tabs. So if you're interested in speed and agility workouts, that will really help you get the speed that you need up. And they do work. We have had them long enough and had enough people go through them that it is, if you just do them and keep working up the exercises, you'll get a little bit farther each time, and you'll eventually get faster and faster in your technique. Itzhak is saying, what are the two boxes in measures 16 and 17? Those are first, Itzhak, those are first and second endings. It's like a fork in the road musically. A lot of times you just don't want to write it all out again. So we have these repeats. You'll see different ways of repeating. If you look at the end of the second line, you see this little thick line, two thick lines, and two dots. That's a repeat sign. That means repeat. You go back to where you see another one of those signs, and that's right at the beginning. And you would repeat those 8 bars. Not forever, just once. Okay, and then you would keep going. Now, you would go through that fourth line, and there you see a first and second ending. So that's like a fork in the road. So the first time I go through that, here comes that first ending. It's got a repeat sign. It goes back to the repeat sign at the beginning of line 3. Not the beginning, it goes to the ones closest to you. So it's line 3, so I would play that again. Now here, I don't play the first ending because it's the second time around. So I take the other fork in the road and I take the second ending. So I finish that. Then I go to the box with the 2 in it. And then I just keep reading. And that's some of the ways, not all the ways that music shows to repeat, but those are some of the main ways that music shows to repeat. Okay? Great. Hey, let me play another song for you. Whew. Can I do this one? I don't even know if I could pull it off, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try because I like you guys. And we're gonna do the best we can. This is a song by Pierre Bensoussan, a fantastic Celtic guitarist. He's from France, and he's actually going to be on the show. We've already booked it for March of 2022. We've already booked him to be there. He's only in the States rarely, and he was one of the first fingerstyle artists that I saw, and I just couldn't get over his playing. I'd never heard any kind of playing like it, and he was just a genius, and it's nothing like anything I've ever heard. We've had him on the show one time. It's been many, many years ago. But you can look up, just look up Pierre Bensoussan on Guitar Gathering, and you would see that too. So, all right, so let's play a little bit of this. This is called Le Voyage pour Irlande, which is the journey to Ireland. This is in Dadgad. So let me check. It's a little warm in here tonight, so let me check my tuning. dadgad. The low string is not an E, it's a D. Then the fifth string is an A, just like normal. D is like normal. G is like normal, but the second string, which should be a B, is now tuned down to an A. The high E is now tuned down to a D. So I get this rather open sounding sort of a gritty, earthy sort of a feel to it. So let me try and play this very complicated song, and let's y'all be forgiving as I try and do this. All right, here we go. There you go. There you go. A little bit of Le Voyage pour l'Irlande, Ireland, as best as I could fake my way through it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. Hey, thank you, Christine, so much. We do have the super chat going on there. If you're interested in supporting the work that we do and the lessons that we provide, and the materials that we do, and all of the time that it takes to put it all together, hey, I would appreciate it. We appreciate it. It helps us keep going, keep the lights on for all of this. So there's that, Le Voyage pour Irlande. I would encourage you to look up Pierre Bensoussan. Right now, there's a whole genre of fingerstyle. Back when he started, man, there was just a couple of artists. Him, Phil Kagi, Alex DeGrassi, maybe. And just a handful of others. So he is truly one of the founding fathers of modern fingerstyle. So there you go. That's that. Let's give some things away. We haven't given anything away in a while. I want to give some from our good friends over at Slinky Strings. I think I have this is my last batch of Slinky Strings. All right, so we're going to give some Slinky Strings away. We're going to give them to, this is going to S. Cox. S. Cox. You have just won this. Send me your information at service@guitargathering.com, and that will, your mailing address, and I can mail these out to you. Service@guitargathering.com to S. Cox. There you go. Enjoy that. I want to give away one more CD from our good friend Jason Eskridge. Jason Eskridge, the winner of Jason Eskridge's CD, one of the top singers here in Nashville, is David Sams. David Sams, you have just won Jason Eskridge's live in Nashville CD, send me your information, service@guitargathering.com, and we will get that emailed out to you. Hey, Mr. Producer, I want to give away one more. We're going to give away one more thing from our good friends over Blue Chip Picks. This is a thumb pick. They have different sizes, so hopefully this fits. I think this is a medium there. These are metal thumb picks, really, really great thumb picks that a lot of the bluegrass guys swear by, is these Blue Chip picks. So here's that beautiful Blue Chip pick. All right, so somebody's about to win this. The winner of this is... Look at that. Is that who you want me to pick? Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Emilio Cicero, you have just won a Blue Chip pick. Emilio, send me your information at service@guitargathering.com, and we will get this out for you. There you go. Yes, we did have a video of Pierre Bensoussan as an older one, much older one, and he was just happening to come through town, and we caught him. Our good friend Bill Pyburn, the editor of Fingerstyle Guitar Magazine, said, "Hey, Pierre Bensoussan's in town. You want to try and throw him on the show?" I said, "Sure." After it was over, I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to go over and we're going to have dinner with Phil Kagi and, oh gosh, who was it? Russ Barenberg." So it was going to be Pierre Bensoussan, Phil Kagi, and Russ Barenberg, and they were just going to have dinner and play a little bit. Wouldn't you have liked to have been a fly on the wall for that? So anyway, there you go. I want to close you out with one more song. Man, it's kind of been fun doing the Irish stuff tonight. I like that. I always like St. Patrick's Day. If you like Celtic music, check out Shane Hennessy. I think we've had him on the show, but it's been forever ago. Shane Hennessy, an Irish guitarist. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to, let me close it out with a song, another classic song, Danny Boy. And I promise next time I'll have new strings. Be even better. I bought some new strings over at Gruen Guitars today. If ever you're in Nashville, don't miss a chance to go over by Gruen Guitars, the vintage guitar capital of the world. I was just watching their show the other day, and they had Ricky Skaggs just happened to be in the store. So Ricky Skaggs was sitting there demoing music, so it was great. So anyway, check out Gruen Guitars if you're interested in some beautiful, beautiful instruments. So here, let me play a little bit of Danny Boy, and then we'll finish it out. All right, keep up the great work in your learning. If you like learning tunes like this, like the stuff like that, check out the hymns class that's coming up. Keep up the great work in your learning. We're going to work this song out next time on the Wednesday workout. Keep going. Don't lose your motivation for playing. Your music matters. Hey, we'll see you guys next time.